Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the fall campaign for Arkham Horror, the card game. In our last scenario, Return to the Midnight Masks, we picked up another 3 experience, and thankfully we managed to avoid more trauma. We only got 2 cultists though, so hopefully that won't come back to bite us. In this video, we're going to upgrade the decks again, and then we're going to have the tarot reading for our last scenario of the campaign, Return to the Devourer Below. With that all set, let's get into our upgrades, and this time, let's go say hello to Joe first. Hello, Joe. I wanted to do this upgrade earlier in the campaign, but we had more pressing problems to deal with first. Now, nearing the end of this campaign, we're going to upgrade his Dream Diary to level 3, and we're going to take the Dreams of a Madman version. So let's bring that in shot. So here's Dreams of a Diary, Dreams of a Madman, Will and a Combat on Commit. You can only include this asset in your deck by upgrading it from Dream Diary, untranslated, and only if you have interpreted the dreams in your campaign log, which we did in the first scenario. While you're engaged with an enemy, your Essence of the Dream gains 2 wildcard icons, and as a reaction, when your turn begins, search your bonded card for Essence of the Dream and add it to your hand. As we recall, the Essence of the Dream gives us 2 wildcard icons on commit, so that will help us out with our combat. So anyway, that's in the deck now. That'll be ready to go. That will do it for Joe. Now let's go pay Winifred a visit. Hello, Winifred. Since I'm expecting a fight in this last scenario, we'll continue with the upgrading our firepower as we swap out one of Winifred's switchblades for an Ornate Bow level 3. So let's take a quick look at said Ornate Bow level 3. I did forget to mention the Dream Diary is a 2 cost to play. So anyway, coming back to the Ornate Bow. It's a 4 cost to play. You get a combat and an agility on commit. Uses 1 ammo. Limit 1 arrow on Ornate Bow. Action, spend 1 ammo, fight. This attack uses agility instead of combat. You get +2 agility and deal +2 damage for this attack. Action, you knock another arrow. Place an arrow on the Ornate Bow, and it takes up both hand slots. So, as we saw with Winifred earlier in the campaign, testing her combat tends to be a bit spotty sometimes. Testing her agility is probably going to be likely to yield a lot better results. But anyway, we've got that sleeved. I'll get both of those upgrades into the deck lists. And now, we will go ahead and see how bad the tarot deck is going to be. Last scenario, we ducked a risky flip when we flipped the Hierophant 5 to its bad side. I think we only ended up testing Will a handful of times last scenario. But let's go into this week's tarot reading. So we've got the tarot deck right here. Go ahead and give it a shuffle. And we'll give it a cut. And then the top 2 will be our tarot cards for the scenario. First card up we have the Chariot 7 again. Each investigator begins the game with 2 additional cards in their opening hand, but if we flip it to the bad side, each investigator begins the game with 2 fewer cards in their opening hand and can't draw cards during their first turn. If this is the Hierophant 5 again, I'm shuffling this and reading and doing another reading. We find the Magician 1. Either each investigator begins the game with 3 additional resources, or if we flip it to the bad side, each investigator begins the game with 3 fewer resources and can't gain resources during their first turn. So, which one do we want more of? Do we want more resources or more cards? I think, honestly, the risk we run into here is if we opt for the more cards with a fewer resources, we potentially strand everything in our opening. We potentially strand cards in our opening hands. Whereas, if we take the more resources but fewer cards, we'll have fewer options in our hand, but we'll be more likely to be able to play them. So, I think keeping that in mind, I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to flip the Chariot 7 to its bad side. So we're going to so each investigator is going to be in the game with 3 additional resources, but 2 fewer cards and can't draw during their opening turn, during their first turn. So I will go ahead and make notes of that. Good. Magician 1. Plus 3 resources. Bad. Is that the Chariot 7? Minus 2 cards in opening hand. Can't draw during first turn. Alright, so we've got all that noted. Now with the tarot reading done, now let's move back up top to wrap this video up. That will do it for this upgrades and tarot reading video. I'll get the upgrades into the deck list, and I'll update the links in the description down below. Sunday, we'll wrap the fall campaign as we return to the Devourer below. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.